today's live yoga class, we're going to focus on opening up the shoulders. So if you have a yoga strap handy, that'll be useful, but it doesn't have to be a yoga strap because we're not even going to really use the belt. It's only if your shoulders are tight, you might need it for some poses like this, right? So you could use a towel, a belt, anything you have handy. If not, of course, you can always make it work without the yoga strap. But yoga strap always comes in handy if you have one of those. If you have yoga blocks at home, that can come in handy too for balancing poses. Hi, Emily. So let's just give everyone a second to sign on and then we'll get started with our shoulder opening flow. And remember, it's all levels. The thing with shoulders is we just got to work with where we're at, right? We take it one step at a time, and as your shoulders get more open over time, you'll be able to get your hands closer and closer in different poses and be able to work up to some more advanced things. So, all right, let's get started in our child's pose. So come to your mats, bring your big toes together, knees wide, and forehead down. And just take a couple deep breaths, settle into that first child's pose. Keeping in mind child's pose is your resting pose. You can always come back to this pose at any point in your practice to take a break, listening to your body throughout the practice. And start to find your breath, breathing in and out through your nose, finding that Ujjayi breath. Slightly constricting the back of your throat so you can hear the sound of your breath, and make your inhales and exhales even longer. Now keep the legs exactly as they are, but walk your hands to the right side of the mat and put your left hand on top of the right, just so you get a little stretch to that left side of your body. Now walk it to the left side, put your right hand on top of the left. Now let's bring it up to our hands and knees to a tabletop position. Inhale, drop the belly, arch your back and gaze up, cow pose. Exhale, tuck your chin in and round your back for cat. So just start to warm up the spine. Inhale as you arch. Exhale as you round. Good, one more time. Inhale to arch. Exhale to round. And then after that last one, find a neutral spine right in the middle. Gates pose, step your left leg to the side and come up so you're on your right knee and your left foot. Your left hand's going to go on that left leg as you reach that right arm over and create that side body stretch. Good. Lift the torso up, switch your legs. Left knee down, right foot steps to the side, right hand on the right leg, reach that left arm over. Good, let's make it back to our tabletop, to our hands and knees. Now thread the needle, take your right arm up, open the chest, thread it all the way through as far as you can. Put your head down and then walk your left hand forward. From there, if you feel like you want a little more, walk that left hand over to the right. Bring it back in, tabletop position, and switch sides. Peel the left arm up, thread it through, then walk that right hand forward and maybe a little off to the left. Good, bring it back up to your hands and knees. Now opposite arm and leg, just to wake up our core a little bit. Right arm forward, left leg back. As you exhale, bring your knee and elbow into touch or as close as you can get it. Inhale to extend and reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to extend. One more time, exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Now you can hold it here in balance or you can reach around, maybe grab the foot, find a little back bend there. Stretch it back out and place it down and then switch sides. Left arm, right leg. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. One more time, knee to elbow. Then extend it out and just hold or reach for that foot and find a back bend there. Stretch it out, place it down. Now we'll move into our first down dog. So plant your hands shoulder width, tuck your toes and lift your hips up. Feet should be about hips width distance apart. Bend one leg at a time. So as you bend that right leg, you're pushing the left heel down. And then you switch, you bend the left leg and push your right heel down. Pedal it out a couple more times. Check in with your calves, hamstrings. And then when you're ready, start to straighten the legs. Press the weight back into those legs. Try to shrug your shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, glide forward to a high plank. Just check your alignment. So you want your shoulders, elbows, wrists stacked, feet hips width, your body's in a straight line. And then exhale, lift the hips back up, down dog, without moving the hands and feet. Inhale, forward, high plank. Exhale, down dog. One more time. Inhale, forward, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Take a few steps. We'll meet at the top of the mat with the feet hips width for our ragdoll. Bend your knees, grab opposite elbows, and let yourself hang. Maybe shake the head, yes and no. Relax your neck. And sway a bit side to side, shifting the body weight from the right foot to the left foot. Maybe a little forward and back as well, from the balls of the feet to the heels. Whatever feels good to you. Release your arms and roll yourself all the way up to stand. Good. When you get to the top, we'll lift the arms up, grab your left wrist, pull it to the right. Create a side body stretch. Then grab your right wrist, pull it over to the left. Good. Back to center. Now interlace the fingers, or right away if you want to hold on to a strap or a towel here, you can do that as well. Or sometimes if you just bend the elbows first, it's easier to get those fingers interlaced. Open up the chest, look up, bend your knees a little bit, and fold forward, keeping the fingers interlaced or using a strap or towel. Notice how they feel at the beginning of your practice, right? We're just loosening things up. Release your hands. Inhale to a flat back. As you exhale, step to a high plank. And I'll modify the first one with you so that you know the modification. Knees down, hug your elbows in, and slowly come down to the floor. So that's a modified version of our chaturanga. Now untuck the toes and press down through the tops of the feet. Cobra pose. You lift the chest, just a small back bend, and lower down. And then you push back up to your knees. Tuck your toes, down dog. So as we flow through our vinyasas, you can always go back to that version, or you can skip them and come to down dog any point. Look forward, step or hop, both feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, lengthen your spine to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Now this time we use that flat back. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. Exhale, swan dive with a flat back all the way down. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step to plank. Now you can choose to stay on the toes or drop back down to the knees. It's like a tricep push-up halfway down, chaturanga. Now we flip over the feet for up dog. So if you're doing up dog instead of cobra, push down through the tops of the feet and the hands so your knees stay off the floor. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Good. 2 more times, sun A to warm up. That variation. Look forward, step or hop to the front. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, swan dive all the way back down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, you can step or add a little jump, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Good, just one more time. Look forward, step or hop to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, swan dive back down. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step or hop back, nice and light, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Now just hold it. Check in. Press the weight to the heels. See how your down dog's feeling. Lift the right leg up. Open the hip, bend the leg. You can move the leg. You can move the ankle. Draw a few circles. Whatever feels good. Create a nice stretch. Straighten the leg. Square the hip. Step your right foot between your hands, as many steps as it takes, and maybe you have to come up to those fingertips and then put your left knee down. Untuck the left toes. We're just starting a low lunge, so sink into that left hip flexor. If you want to lift the arms up, you can. Maybe add a little back bend, or maybe press those palms together. Then lower the hands to the floor or blocks half splits. Shift the weight back so that the hip is over the knee, but you're not sitting on the foot. Flex your right foot. If your leg is not straight, you might need to wiggle it a little bit forward to help you straighten it. And then you fold. And check in with your right hamstring and calf. And notice how it's feeling today. Okay, let's rebend it. Plant the hands. Always optional if you want to skip the vinyasas. That's up to you. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Other side, lift the left leg up, open the hip, bend the leg. Again, feel free to move the whole leg or the ankle, or just open the hip, get a good stretch. And then straighten the leg, square the hip. Step it forward to a low lunge. lunge. So we'll put that back knee all the way down. Your front knee should be over the ankle, hands on the thigh. Or lift your arms up, add a little bit more of a back bend, maybe pressing those palms together. Good, half splits, hands to the floor, straighten the front leg, flex that left foot, then fold. Rebend the leg, both hands down, optional step back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Look forward, step or hop, both feet to the front, feet together. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to fold. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend the knees, reach the arms up. Sink the weight back into the heels. Start to warm up the legs. Make sure you can see your toes. Now we're going to interlace the hands again with the strap or just the fingers, but try to put the other thumb on top from what you did earlier, right? So it might feel a little awkward. Open the chest. Then fold forward. Maybe this time you can straighten the legs all the way. If not, that's okay to keep a little bend there. Release your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step or hop, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift your right leg up. Step it forward. This time right to a crescent lunge position. So we'll stay on the ball of the back foot and reach the arms up. Hips are square. Back leg is straight, but the heel is off the ground. So it's a pretty long stance for that crescent lunge. We have that big bend in the front leg. Now as we open the hips, pivot the back heel down, warrior two, arms like a T. Gaze at that right hand, keep that big bend in the right leg, flip your right palm up, left hand to left thigh, reverse warrior. Reach back, stretch the right side body. Exhale, windmill the hands to the mat and step back, chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Other side, lift the left leg up. Step it between your hands and stay on the ball of the right foot, high crescent lunge. So make sure your feet are lined up with those hips so you feel like you have a good base and you don't feel like you're on a tightrope. Open the hips, pivot the back heel down, warrior two. Arms out like a T, gaze is over that left hand. Flip the left palm up. Inhale, reverse, right hand to the right thigh. Reach back, stretch to the left side body. Then as you exhale, you windmill the hands down to the front so you can step back. Exhale, chaturanga. Good, inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now this time it's going to be different. Lift the right leg up, step in between the hands, but we're going to come into a warrior one instead. So that means you bring your left heel down on the ground. And you can see my foot's turned out just slightly, about 45 degrees. And when I find my hips as I come up, the hip bones are trying to point forward. Then I lift the arms up. Now, it's hard to square the hips, so if they're not perfectly square yet, over time, that's just what we're going for, right? That's what you're working towards. But keep that back heel down so your stance is a little bit shorter than what you had for crescent. Now, we're going to interlace those hands again, so grab the strap if you need it. Open up the chest, look up, bow forward for humble warrior. Your torso can pretty much lay right on top of that front thigh, or for those that are a little bit more flexible, come to the inside of the thigh. Maybe over time, try to get the top of the head to the floor, right by your foot. But don't let that back heel come off the ground. Humble warrior. Take a few more breaths. Good. Come back up. Warrior one. Reach your arms up. Now we're going to take eagle arms. You have three options. Left arm is the one going on the bottom. So you can just give yourself a hug and hold your shoulder blades. Or you might try to get the backs of the hands together. Some people can get that double wrap where your palms come together. Lift your elbows up, take a little back bend, then keep that eagle bind. Start to lean forward. We're going to float the left leg up. Warrior three legs with eagle arms. Flex your left foot. Reach the elbows away from you. Internally rotate so those left toes are pointed towards the floor. Unwind the arms to standing splits. Now you might lift that leg even higher as you bring your nose closer to the right leg. Maybe that right hand to the right ankle. Anytime your hands don't reach the floor, if you have blocks or books or water bottles, you can put your hands on that. Then come up to the fingertips, lower the leg just a little bit. We're going to come back to warrior three, but not with the eagle arms. Just put a soft bend in the right leg and bring your hands to prayer. Step back, warrior one, arms up. Now, the transition from warrior one to warrior two requires you to move your back foot. So step it out wider, line up right heel to left arch. So it's a little bit awkward at first, but make sure that nice long stance for that warrior two. Significantly wider than your warrior one. Flip your right palm up, inhale, reverse. Exhale to side angle. For now, right elbow on the thigh. We're gonna take just a half bind, we'll do the full bind later. Take that left arm, wrap it behind your back. It might rest on the lower back, or for some of you, you might be able to grab the hip or the inner thigh. If it's okay on the neck, just look up towards the ceiling. If that bothers your neck, look to the side. Now we're gonna keep the half bind, shift your gaze down, look at the floor, half moon with the half bind. Reach your right hand forward to the floor block, usually to that right corner of the mat, and then lift the left leg up. Now the hip is open, so very different from that warrior three. Our left flying toes are pointed to the side wall to open the hip. In that warrior three, they were pointed to the floor, so different pose. Focus your gaze. Now we're gonna stay in half moon, but just undo the bind. Extend that left arm up for that regular half moon. Find your balance. Step all the way back, warrior two, reset. Very good, inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill your hands down and step at chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. So I know that was a long sequence, but we're gonna do that whole thing on the other side. Take a deep breath, reset here. Lift the left leg up. Step it forward, set up your warrior one. Take your time as you set it up, right? If you need to, wiggle that foot forward. Put the right heel flat on the ground. Turn your right foot in 45 degrees, and then maybe check your hip bones as you come up and try to square them a little more to the front. Then lift the arms up. You're still bending that front leg. Back leg is straight. Now try to interlace the hands the awkward way with that opposite thumb on top, or just hold your strap or towel. Inhale, look up, open the chest. Exhale, bow forward, humble warrior. Again, you might be on the thigh or just slightly to the inside of it, but stay close to the leg, and maybe over time your head will come down to the ground right next to your foot. Come back up to warrior one, lift the arms up. Eagle arms, this time the right arm goes on the bottom. So cross the arms and maybe hug your shoulder blades, or backs the hands, or maybe get that full double bind there for that eagle arms. First, hold the legs in warrior one, inhale, elbows up, find a little back bend. Exhale, slowly come forward, warrior three. Float the right leg, flex the foot, all 5 right toes point towards the floor, reach your elbows away from you. Standing splits, undo the arms, hands come down. Now you can lift the leg as high as you can. Bring your nose to the left leg. Maybe grab the back of that left ankle with the left hand. Lower your leg a little bit, come up to your fingertips. Put a soft bend in the left leg and bring our hands to prayer, warrior three. Step all the way back, warrior one. Inhale the arms up. Now notice you have to move that back foot, come into warrior two. Line up left heel to right arch. Find a nice long warrior two stance. Flip the left palm up. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale to side angle with the left elbow on the thigh. Try not to sink, push away. And then take that half bind. Right arm maybe on the lower back, the hip, maybe all the way through to grab that inner thigh. And again, as long as it doesn't bother the neck, try to look up to the ceiling. Otherwise, you can look to the side or even down. And you might notice a difference between the sides. That's okay. Let's look down. Keep your half bind wherever it's at. Walk that left hand forward. Maybe step the right foot in a little bit. And then try to come up to that half moon. So this might be one of those poses where you need a block under that left hand so you can get both legs straight. Your hip is open. Flex that flying foot. Keep your gaze focused. Undo the half bind and come up to just regular half moon with that right arm reaching up. Nothing changed in the legs. Bend your standing leg. Step back, warrior two. Now you reset. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Step back, chaturanga, low push-up. Good. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Hop or step to Malasana, prayer squat. Turn your feet and toes out at the front, hands to heart center. Drop those hips down. Use your elbows. Push the inner thighs apart. If you're having a hard time time getting your heels on the ground, try taking the feet wider, even off of the mat. You have 3 variations. You can hold here, you can open the arms, or you can work on the bind, and we'll go for the full bind. So if I'm going to do the arms, I slide my right shoulder inside the right knee, and maybe just open and stay here. This is a good next step. Or half bind, left arm behind the back. If I'm going for that full bind, I got to flip my right thumb back, go around the shin, not in between my legs, around the outside of the shin, grab hands by my hip if I can, and then look up. Okay, bring it to center, and then switch sides. Left shoulder inside the left knee, left hand down, right arm up. Maybe stay there. Maybe the next step is just a half bind with that right arm, or working that left arm around for that full bind and gazing over that right shoulder. Good, back to center. Bring your hands down, straighten your legs, walk your feet and hips width. Peace sign fingers, grab your big toes. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Relax your neck, shoulders away from the ears, elbows out wide. Now you can stay here for a few more breaths, or if you want to add in your crow, right? We're not going to do a ton of arm balancing, but it's always good to practice it. So if you want your Bakasana, or those of you that know other variations, maybe crow to headstand to crow, maybe one-legged crow, whatever you're working on in your practice, okay? If you're doing regular crow, plant your hands shoulder width. You might have to walk your feet back a little bit and bring them together. Lift up to the tippy toes, bend your knees, and put them as close to your armpits as you can. It's like you want to put your deodorant on your black pants, right? If you see white marks on your knees, that's why. Lean forward, stick out your chin. Keep going forward, 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 forward till your toes get lighter. Maybe today 1 foot lifts, maybe both, maybe it's just for a second, right? And then over time it gets longer. Practice whatever variations you want, and then we'll meet in a child's pose, or you can get a quick sip of water if you want. Let's reset in our child's pose. Now let's come into our dolphin. So come up, we always measure it out, right? No matter how much you've done yoga, it's always good to double check. Grab the outside of the triceps. That just tells you where your elbows go. Keep those elbows there, extend the forearms. So your forearms are parallel, palms are flat. Then the rest is like down dog, but keep your elbows down, tuck your toes, lift your hips up. Push the floor away. Now, depending on the hamstrings, maybe walk the feet a little closer to the elbows. Try to bring your feet together right in the middle. If this is a lot of work, stay here. If you're ready for the next step, lift the right leg up and just hold for 5. Keep your head off the ground. 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we switch. Put the right foot down. Lift your left leg up. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Child's pose. Drop the knees down. Reset. Good. Puppy pose. So you come up to tabletop. Now your hips will stay up and walk the hands forward. Forehead down or chin down. See if you can melt your chest towards the ground. Stretch your shoulders and your lats. Good. Walk your hands in, and then we'll meet back in our down dog. Lift the right leg up. This time we'll step it back to our crescent lunge. So step it forward, start on the ball of the back foot, reach the arms up, high crescent lunge, just for a breath, and then exhale to warrior 2. So we're going to work on our full bind in the side angle. You can use the strap, or you can stay with the half bind, right? You might not get all the way to the full bind. Don't feel like you have to force it. So starting with the half bind, right elbow on the thigh, left arm behind the back, right? This is where we were earlier. Now, if I can get my hand at least close to the hip, doesn't have to touch it, but close, then maybe I'll go for that full bind. If your hand is like way up here, you're not ready yet for that full bind, okay? Now, if I'm going to go for that full bind, I'm going to reach that right arm to the inside of my leg, go through, try to find that left hand. You might have to kind of lean forward to get a good grip on the hand. But once you get there, don't stay down with your chest. Try to open your chest up, at least facing the sidewall. Some of you might rotate a little more open to face up towards the ceiling. And then just hold. So even if you're not in the full bind, repeat the half bind and work it deeper, right? Because the more you do that half bind, over time your hands will get closer together for that full bind. Take one more deep breath, and then we're going to undo the bind, just come right back up, warrior 2. Inhale to reverse. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right to chaturanga or skip it. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now, notice that one side might be different, right? That's okay, so don't force it to be the same. Lift the left leg up, step it between your hands, start in your crescent lunge just for a moment, and then we'll open to our warrior two. Reverse your warrior, and then start in side angle, left elbow to the thigh with the right arm behind your back. Again, if it's just here on the lower back, try to work it closer to the hip and hold there. If you can get it close to the hip, then you can take that other arm, your left arm, go on the inside of the thigh, reach through to get a good grip on your hand. And then don't keep your chest facing the floor. Do your best to open up so your chest faces the side wall, or maybe even starts to open more towards the ceiling. You want to make sure your hand is by your hip or your hamstring of that left leg. The more you can get your hand even under that hamstring, you'll be able to open up more to the ceiling. Wherever you're at, hold. Even if it's just a half bind, take another breath. Undo your bind, come back up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Step back, chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step or hop to the front. Roll yourself up to stand. Now, we're going to do that same full bind, possibly, and work on our bird of paradise. But if you couldn't do the full bind and you have a strap, you're going to want to use your strap in this next pose, okay? This is also just a good stretch where you can leave out the bird of paradise and just work on opening the shoulders. So you take your feet wide, I like them all the way to the edges of the mat, and you bend your knees a lot, like you're going to do a squat, okay? If I'm going to use the strap, I put in my left hand, my right arm goes through the leg and by my right hip, and the left arm goes behind the back, and I can hold onto the strap and maybe just straighten the legs and hold there. Okay, but if you can get the bind without the strap, the more you bend your legs like a squat, the easier it is to get that bind. Okay, then I try to straighten the legs and look over that left shoulder. Again, this is just a good place to stretch the shoulder and the hamstrings. Optional, right? Bird of paradise is optional. Only if you have the bind without the strap. If you have the strap, don't do it, okay? Because it's going to be hard to balance. If you have this full bind, walk your feet closer together. Now my bind is around my right leg, so I'm going to bend my left leg and lean my weight to the left leg and slowly try to stand up, holding that right leg. Slow is key. Stand up tall first, try to straighten the left leg as much as you can. It might not straighten all the way. And then maybe the right leg straightens. Some of that is dependent on your hamstring, okay? So if you want to keep that flying leg bent, that's fine too. It's still a deep shoulder stretch. And then when you want to come down, exit the same way. Let's all release, shake out your arms for a moment. So if you could only do the bind on one side in that side angle, you might only do it on one side here too, and that's okay. Feet nice and wide, bend your legs. Left arm through. If you're using the strap, put it in your right hand and throw it behind your back so you can hold on. Otherwise, bend the knees a lot to get the hands together. So whether you have the hands together or the strap, I want you to try to straighten the legs and look over that right shoulder. And you may not get them all the way straight. And if you're not doing bird of paradise, stay in this stretch. This is a good place to hold. If you want to do bird of paradise, walk your feet closer together, bend your right leg, lean to the right. I like to keep my gaze down and then slowly move my gaze straight in front of me as I stand up. Once you get up there, maybe straighten the flying leg. Remember, that part's optional. Take it one step at a time. Pull those shoulders back. Try to have as good of posture as you can, right? It's difficult, but the more you can open your chest, the better. And then slowly bring it down, shake it out. And if you have the strap, move your strap to the side. Let's just meet in ragdoll at the front for a moment and let your shoulders relax. And sway side to side. Good. Then roll yourself back up. Standing number 4. If you want to add in the arm balances, go for it. Otherwise, we'll just work on the balance and the hip stretch. Hands to prayer, right foot across. Bend your left leg. This should feel good. Right, you have to focus the gaze, and you might stay here, or if you can get your fingertips down to the floor blocks, or if you know the arm balances, go for those. Right, stretching the hip. Couple more breaths. And then come up, shake it out, switch legs. So, left foot across, bend your right leg. Any variations done the first side, see if you can repeat them. You might not be able to, but always do your best to even out the sides. meet at the top of the mat and take a vinyasa to reset. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step or hop back. Chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Shift to a plank. Slowly come to the floor. Now we're still going to work on that shoulder opening. Even though we already did that bird of paradise, we're going to do some stretches on our stomach and on our back to help open the chest and shoulders more. So one option, left arm like a T. Okay, if your shoulders and chest you know are pretty tight, go for this. Otherwise, bend it to 90 degrees if your shoulders and chest are a little more flexible. Elbow in a straight line from that shoulder joint. Left ear down, push into the right hand and roll to the left edge of your body. If you do this second variation, you decide it's too much, just undo it, straighten the arm back out. If you want to add on, kick your right foot on the floor behind you. We're going to do two variations. This is the first one, and then we'll do another one in a moment. Now back to center and switch sides. So right arm straight like a T, or bend it to that 90-degree angle. Right ear on the floor, push into the left hand and roll to the right side of the body. Stacking the feet, or maybe kicking that left foot on the floor behind you. Now bring it to center. Second variation, everyone's going to have the arm straight like a T, but we're going to flip the palm up. So right now, you see how my thumb is pointing forward? I'm going to flip it up this way. Okay, so rotate it so my palm is facing up. Then I roll over, and maybe I stay here, or you might bend the arm, interlace just the fingers. Don't go palms all the way together. Re-straighten it out. Maybe put the right foot on the floor. Maybe put the left foot on the floor so that both knees are pointing up. Your head stays down, though. Again, take it one step at a time. I know that one had a lot of steps. You might just stick with arm out straight, but palm facing up. This is a slightly different stretch than when we had palm facing down. Back to center, undo everything, go the other way. Right arm like a T, but flip the palm up, right ear down. Then roll to the edge of the body, right? You can stay there. Maybe you might have to bend that arm, right? At first it might just kind of be like this and not work. So I bend the arm so I can lace the fingers, and then I re-straighten it out as best I can. And you might just put the left foot on the floor. Or both feet on the floor is pretty intense with the knees pointing up, but keep your head on the ground. Undo everything, back to center, forehead down. Good. Airplane your arms right by your side. Squeeze your legs together. Let's do a couple back bends. Locust pose. Lift your chest, arms, legs. Keep your gaze down so you don't crank on your neck. And hold for 5. Strengthen your back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Let one ear rest to the mat. Relax for a moment. Now you can repeat that or interlace the fingers behind the back. Zip the legs up and lift everything back up and hold again for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Opposite ear to the mat, relax. Now again, you can repeat one of those two, or our last one will be bow pose, Dhanurasana. You bend your legs and try to grab the ankles. Flex the feet and knees about hips width, and then you take your legs and kick up. You kick back through the shins, really strong legs to try to peel the chest up. And hold, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, bring one ear down and gently windshield wiper your shins side to side. It helps to release the lower back after those back bends. When you feel ready, we'll go all the way back to that child's pose and reset your spine. Let's come into down dog, one final down dog just to check in, see how it feels compared to the beginning. We focus mostly on the shoulders, but the hamstring should feel a little more open here too. Step to the front and have a seat. Extend your legs out in front of you for a seated forward fold, and then we have one more shoulder stretch that we're going to do laying on our back. So legs up straight, fold forward. You can use that strap again if you have it, right, or towel, or you can just grab your legs, your feet, or those of you who are pretty flexible, grab your wrist. Now slowly come up. This last one, you're not going to use the strap. Okay, we're going to be laying down and do Gomukhasana arms, cow face pose arms. So what we're going to be doing is like this. Now, even if you can normally touch, you're not going to want to touch because you don't want to make a grip, because when we lay down on it, that'll dig your knuckles into your back. Also, when we lay down, it's going to get more intense. So if you normally are here, you might want to be here. If you're normally here, you might want them there. Okay, we're going to take it one step at a time. So let's lay down on the right side. Okay, prop your head up on your right hand. Start with that left arm and take it behind your lower back with the palm facing out. And then if that feels okay, you might walk it higher up towards your shoulder blades. Then your right hand is going to be either on your head or your upper back, and then you roll over so that your right arm is like a pillow. Now right away, if you get into this and it's too intense, roll back to your right side, separate the hands a little bit, and then lay back down. So my right arm is a pillow, but you might feel the stretch in both shoulders. I usually feel it more in the bottom arm just because that rotation, internal rotation of the shoulder is tighter for me. Now you have options with the legs. You could just keep your legs out like Shavasana and close your eyes. Or you might bend your knees. For some people this feels a little better, right? Or you could do butterfly. Or the last variation, if you feel like you want to go even more, you want a slightly deeper stretch, especially for that bottom arm, is you bring your knees together and you twist them to the left. That's going to put more pressure on that left arm, right? More of your body weight, which makes the stretch even deeper. If that's too much, back out, right? Close the eyes and try to relax. So notice where you're holding on to tension. I like this variation because without this strap, you're not tensing up the muscles. You can relax into it a little bit more and get a deeper stretch. Take a few more moments on this side, go a little bit deeper. Now, in order to come out, we're going to slowly take it out one step at a time. So I bring my feet back down, straighten the legs, keep my hands in this position, but roll back to the right side. Keep my left arm where it is, prop my head up on the right hand, just like we did before. Now put your left hand on your hip and then draw circles forward and backward with the shoulder. You might feel a lot of blood, a lot of sensation in that arm. Then you can shake it out, and then we roll to the other side. So you prop your head up with the left hand, take your right arm, flip the palm out. So your back of your hand could be on your lower back or a little bit higher, maybe towards the shoulder blades. Then your left hand behind your head, neck, or upper back, and then you roll over and lay down. Okay, so again, if you need to adjust, roll back to your side to adjust. Use the left arm like a pillow, and then decide which leg variation you want for this side. Legs can be straight, legs could be in butterfly. You could have your feet down with the knees up, or you could twist both knees to the right. But just because I said it's going to make it deeper doesn't necessarily mean it's right for you, right? If it's too intense and you can't breathe or you can't relax, go back one step. And then just try to close your eyes. Notice how this side feels. It might be different. Take a few more deep breaths on this side. One step at a time, feet back to the floor, straighten the legs, roll to the left side, prop your head up with the left hand. Now put your right hand on your hip and just circle your shoulder forward and back. And then when you feel ready, you can kind of shake it all out. Very good. Let's lay down on our back. We've done lots of shoulder openings, so let's finish with one gentle hip opener. Lying down, number 4. Cross your right ankle over the left thigh. If your hips are really tight, just use that right hand and push the leg away and hold it there. If you want to go to the next step, you can grab your hamstring or your shin and pull it towards you. Flex the right foot. Just a couple breaths to open up that hip. Switch sides. Take that same number 4. So if you need to, left hand pushes the left leg away and you keep your right foot on the ground. Or reach through, grab your hamstring or your shin and pull it towards you. Flex that left foot. Now you should feel that stretch in the left hip. Now let's release. Because we've been opening up the chest and the shoulders, I want you to cactus your arms to 90 degrees with the palms facing up. Okay, so the backs of the hands are on the floor. Now cross the right knee over the left. Keep your hands exactly as they are. Just move your hips an inch to the right, drop the knees to the left with that right leg crossed on top, and just keep your gaze straight up to the ceiling and maybe close the eyes. So we get a little chest opening here, as well as that twist for the back and the hips. Bring it to center, switch just the legs. Cross the left leg over the right, move your hips an inch to the left, drop those knees to the right side, and take that twist to the other side for our last pose here before Shavasana. Bring it to center, uncross the legs, give your knees a hug, and then just let everything go, coming into Shavasana, our final relaxation. Extending the legs long, let the feet fall open nice and wide. Arms relax alongside you, palms facing up, and take your shoulders, shrug them away from the ears. Keep your neck long. As you close your eyes, clear away your thoughts. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale all the air out the mouth. Let it go. Let your muscles relax into the floor. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring some small movements back to your body. Maybe draw a couple circles with the wrists and ankles, or gently move your head side to side. Anything that feels good to you. But when you feel ready, reach the arms overhead, reach the legs long, create that nice full body stretch. Get as tall as you can. Then hug the knees in, roll to one side, coming into a fetal position. Keep your eyes closed. Use your hands to press yourself all the way up, coming up into a comfortable seated position. Cross your legs, sit up nice and tall. Hands come together at heart center, Anjali Mudra. And take a couple last deep breaths here. Scan your body. Notice how it feels after your yoga practice today. Let's take one more nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale all the air out the mouth, letting it go. Lift your hands to your forehead, your third eye center, and bowing forward. Namaste. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining me for that shoulder opening flow. So hopefully your chest, shoulders feel great. Remember, be patient with the bird of paradise. That one will take some time, right? But just have fun with it. Thursday, I'll be back, same time, same place for some live yoga at noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. for those of you on the East Coast. And again, usually this saves to IGTV and to YouTube as long as there's no technological difficulties. So have a great day. Bye.